Undefeated? No more. Minnesota holds off a fourth quarter comeback from Penn State to secure the 31-26 victory on Saturday. Welcome back to another edition of Penn State Sports Night. I'm Hunter Pitcoff here with Dugan Lloyd and DJ Morrissey to go over the ways in which Penn State can brush off a tough road loss and return to playoff contention. Now, boys, let's be honest here. Sean Clifford did not have one of his best performances. Only completed 53.5% of his passes. Also logged in 3 interceptions as well. And let's be brutally honest. How was Minnesota able to expose him?
Hunter, it all starts up front. Every time Minnesota brought pressure and got Sean Clifford off his back foot on throws, it was always either incomplete or picked off. 3 interceptions. I'm not saying it's all his fault. There's a lot of drops that went on, but it all started with pressure.
Yeah, like Dugan said, Clifford was throwing off his back foot. A lot of what he was doing, too, was instead of stepping into his throw, he was stepping out into it, and that's why you see those underthrows like on the last interception. Clifford's a really talented guy, but he makes some stupid decisions, which is something talented quarterbacks, whether you're Brett Favre or Jameis Winston, it happens a lot.
And yeah, he's a first-year starter, so that'll happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now guys, we got some cool technology now. We're going to show the first 2 interceptions that Sean Clifford threw. May hurt Penn State fans, but the first one right here, Dugan, explain what happened here.
Well, in this throw, like I said, pressure on Clifford, off his back foot, safety over the top, like DJ said, ill-advised throw, and his second pick, not a pretty one.
Yeah, DJ, and now let's go to the next clip over here of Sean Clifford. I want to hear your take. I know you played football growing up. What did Sean Clifford necessarily do wrong here?
Yeah, so right here, he kind of stares down his receiver right down the middle of the field. He feels the pressure, and he gets the ball away a little bit quicker than he needs to. And like we talked about before, bad fundamentals lead to those underthrows, and just not good from a technical standpoint.
And again, this throw right here perfectly illustrates the fact that he keeps throwing off his back foot. This has been an issue for him. He gets by a lot because he has a super strong arm. But yeah, I mean, the fundamentals is what carries you in this league or in college football. Now let's switch it over to the defensive side of things. Now, Penn State had one of the highly ranked defenses entering the season. However, Minnesota was really able to get the upper hand. So I want to know schematically, how is Minnesota able to pick apart this highly ranked defense?
Yeah, so Penn State has rushed the passer really well all year, but Minnesota was able to neutralize that. They only had 1 sack because they were able to use 40-50 protections, 3-step drops. I don't think Minnesota had 1 5-step or 7-step drop the entire game, so you're able to get the ball quick out of his hand, and then the receivers made plays once they got the ball in their hands.
And that all started with their running game. I mean, early, they were very effective. Penn State could not stop them. And once Penn State was on their heels and had to go into a lot of man coverages, that opened it up over the top, and they were able to be very efficient passing.
All right, Dugan, so I want to hear your take on this first busted coverage here that led to the Minnesota's first touchdown.
I mean, it all starts with the secondary. I mean, Bateman gets right by him like he did all game. He had 7 catches for over 200 yards. I mean, he tore apart their defense, and after playing the run, they left it open over the top.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I think the good thing that Minnesota did is that they made their secondary players, being Penn State, have to make a decision, either give up the long ball or give up the play across the middle. And so moving to the next touchdown, it was the complete opposite. They let up the play across the middle. So DJ, what did Minnesota do right here?
Yeah, so this is an X-middle screen right there, and they could tell that Penn State has a really fast defense, and they tricked them into basically over-pursuing the play. You see the 3 guys down at the bottom of the screen, and number 7 on Minnesota just makes a play, runs across the field, and they took advantage of Penn State being undisciplined.
Yeah, there was a lot of finger pointing going on, I'm sure, during this play, and there's a lot of finger pointing on in general because Penn State fans can be a little bit rowdy, but in all honesty, which position group for Penn State do you think needs to step up the most for the future games?
The way I see it, it's every receiver not named KJ Hamler. I mean, drops were a huge issue for them. Everyone's blaming Sean Clifford right now, but I mean, I'd say he'd have at least 2 touchdowns that were not on the books if it weren't for bad drops.
How about you, DJ?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's the secondary. We just talked about the defense before. They let up 17 yards per attempt, which, you know, if you have over 10 yards per attempt, that's a good day. So 17 is just absurd. John Reed, he's a 5th-year guy. He can't be getting caught for pass interference in a big 3rd down spot at the end of the game. and they just picked on Tariq Castro-Fields all day.
Yeah, I mean, these outside players, they may be really athletic, but hey, fundamentals is going to get you further than this pure athleticism. So I want to hear from you guys. Penn State probably now going to be on the outside looking in, but how can they potentially get back into the college football conversation?
Yeah, so they obviously need to take care of business every game, run the table. This week against Indiana, they need to make sure they don't come out to a sleepy start like they did against Buffalo earlier this year. Last season, after the Ohio State loss, they kind of fell apart in the fourth quarter the next week at home, really trying to avoid that same thing. And then versus Ohio State, you got to be Brent Pry has to be able to confuse Justin Fields pre-play, because if he's able to know what he's going to do and get the ball to his playmakers, it's going to be game over in Columbus.
Just like DJ said, Penn State cannot overlook Indiana. Indiana's ranked 24 right now. They're coming in with only 2 losses. Penn State has that one at home, so they should take care of business. And then at Ohio State, they have to run the table if they want to have any chance of getting in. They have to make Justin Fields a pocket passer, and they have to contain him.
Yeah, definitely. As James Franklin always says, one game at a time, and Penn State most certainly has a chance to redeem itself, especially with a potential upset against the Buckeyes. But of course, that's going to wrap it up here for Penn State Sports Night. For Dugan Lloyd and DJ Morrissey, I'm Hunter Pitcoff. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.